What are these superclasses? Let me talk to you about that. Imagine, when we look at identifying or locating a particular building or something, we have to start with which continent it is found in. And then you can say, well, particular building that we are looking at is found in Europe or Africa or America, North America, South America. So this is the idea of the superclasses. Superclass are 6 in number, and each represent something like a continent. So at least you are directed to a particular area where you can search, and then from there you can go into, what is the subcontinent, and what is the country, and what is the state, and then what is the city, and then what is the street, and then you can see what is the building. So if we have this kind of systematic approach, rather than saying, these are the symptoms, now where do I go, where do I look, and then could it be this, could it be that, could it be Naxomica, could it be belladonna, could it be, antimonium, could it be baryta, could it be lachesis? So instead of that, what is the continent we are looking at? What is the dynamic we are looking at? And to which continent, which superclass does it belong? This makes life so much easier. So I identified 6 superclasses on the basis of the dynamic or the defining basic reaction. First superclass, and the idea here is withdraw and to hold on, to go inside. And what it also means is to avoid facing reality, because reality is seen as too painful. You're too sensitive to it. So the idea is you go inside into a shell and shut the world away and cling or hold on to someone. The other side of this kind of withdrawal or anesthesia, you can say, you can develop a kind of a painlessness as also a fearlessness. So these are the two sides of superclass 1. If you can imagine, remedies such as opium will be here, or a remedy such as lithium will be here, or a remedy such as an oyster will be here. So there are remedies from plant kingdom, mineral kingdom, and animal kingdom, which have this dynamic of going inside, withdrawing, shutting off, anesthetizing. In the second superclass, the dynamic is to open and shut. That means you are still very sensitive and you want to go inside and stay inside, but inside it is quite uninteresting, boring, gray. It is colorless. Your sensory stimulus is not enough. And you don't want to remain like that. It becomes heavy, it becomes closed. You don't like it anymore. You are there because you feel you are too sensitive, but inside also gets a bit boring. So you open your window a little bit and you peep outside. Is it safe? And when you see that, it can be a bit painful, you close again. This opening and closing. It's like a snail, it comes out and looks around, is there anything here? And if there's anything little dangerous, boom, gone back inside. This kind of dynamic. You peep out, see if it is safe, and if it is anything too much, shut the window. But inside, it's boring, monotonous, gray, and you want, taste and smell and touch and sound and color and brightness, but inside is gray. So it's the next stage, you can say. And after the superclass 1 is superclass 2, a little peeping outside. The third superclass, the main dynamic is to limit yourself. So you come out of the shell, you come out completely, you're not opening and closing, but you don't go out of your a zone of limitation. You just say, okay, I'm out, but this is my limit. That's much I can go. That's it, not outside here. So you kind of box yourself or fence yourself or keep yourself limited. You don't want to take a risk. You don't want adventure. You are happy staying within limit. You're out, but within a limit. The opposite of that is to go out of the limit, to make adventure, to take a risk, to expand, to go beyond. So are you going to keep yourself small and limited, or are you going to make yourself a little larger and expansive? This is the question for Superclass 3. Are you going to stay within a limit, or are you going to cross the limit? Are you going to stay small, or are you going to expand, step out, take risks, meet new people, face new situations, etc.? In the fourth super, the main theme is the need to be stable and settled. And what does mean stable? Stable means you don't want a change. You don't want anything to move. You don't want anything to be different. You want foundations, strong foundations. You don't want an earthquake. You want a building that is stable and settled and does not change. What does that mean? In practical terms, you want to find the place of stability and security around you, your home, your money, your business, your job, your family. You want everything to be like this only. You don't want any shift or any change. If you can imagine a remedy like bryonia, which says, I just want to remain in one position, I don't want to move. Or bryonia that says, I'm afraid of poverty. I'm afraid when there is a loss of money, when there's a loss of position. Or a bryonia that says, I want to go home all the time. Can you see the same dynamic? When bryonia says aggravation from movement or from change, the same bryonia that says, I want to go home and I don't want to go out. And the same bryonia that says, whenever there is a loss of money, a loss of security, I get very, very, very hassled, very, very anxious. It's the same dynamic, isn't it? Expressed in the mind, expressed in the body, expressed in the situation also. And also in this superclass lies the fear of losing, isn't it? Losing stability. So one of the main things for them is, I want my husband, I want, my house, I don't want anybody to die. I don't even want my aged parents to die. My father is 97 years old and I'm worrying that he may die. Don't want to let go. I want everything exactly as it is. I'm afraid of any kind of change. This is a fourth superclass. Okay. You can imagine remedies like bryonia, of course, kali carb. You can imagine arsenicum. You can imagine calcarea carbonica. You can imagine a remedy like lac caninum. What does a dog want? We say lac caninum is the milk of a bitch, isn't it? What does a dog want? He wants stability. He will hold on loyally to the master. And when the master is gone, he is lost. You have heard his master's voice, he misses. He wants the same stability. Yeah. Also remedies like thuja, remedies like medurinum, they come in this superclass. Then you have the fifth superclass where you have the main theme is I must get out. So in this, there's movement. Always there has to be change. He wants a change all the time. He cannot remain in stable position. Physically, he's moving. Mentally, he's moving. He wants to get out of there. Because why? The perception is the place of stability becomes the place of danger. Your house becomes dangerous. Survival doesn't anymore is not in remaining stable, but it is in getting out. Imagine a remedy like Rustox, for example. What is the theme of Rustox? Always wants to move. Very restless, aggravation from sitting in one position. As if he takes the same position, he gets pain. He has to move all the time. wants a change. Even in a bed, he cannot remain. He has to keep changing his position. If you read Soul of Remedies, it's very interesting. This Soul of Remedies I wrote, Roostocks is the wife of a drunkard. I meant to say the place of security becomes the place of danger. He comes home and he starts beating up the wife. So this is the time the wife has to get out. She cannot hold on to stability. You see, there's no stability here. There's only danger here. And the survival of this woman lies in getting out of it. So it's very interesting when you think of, a remedy like tuberculinum, for example, a remedy like carcinosin, for example. All these remedies, a remedy like sepia. For what is sepia? Sepia is an abused woman, a woman who has been raped, a woman who has been tortured, a woman who has been treated very, very badly. It's an indifferent, unaffectionate husband. And what does she need to do? She needs to get out. So she develops indifference to the husband and to the children and a desire to move, to dance, to swim, to get out of that place. All these remedies, carcinosin also likes dancing. Tuberculinum likes to travel. Carcinosin likes to travel, to move out. So that is the dynamic of the fifth superclass. As you can see here, the main feeling is when I stay inside, I feel stuck or suffocated. I must run, I must move. So you can see how gradually from the first superclass that doesn't want to come out, the second one that wants to come out and shut inside, the third one wants to be limited, the fourth one wants to be stable, the fifth one wants to get out. And what happens to the sixth one, the sixth superclass? The dynamic is of violence and destruction. That means I want to kill, I want to destroy, I want to, they say, fight or flight response. What does it mean? The perception is that you are going to be killed. They are all after you. You are going to be finished. Your survival does not lie in simply getting out of the house. Your survival lies in violence. Your survival lies in running as fast as your legs can carry you from that place of extreme, extreme danger. So you can see here the fright and the flight mode, enemies all around, danger, murder, kill, terror, and fight to the finish. It's either you or the other one. So you can imagine remedies such as, Panacea, belladonna, hyoscyamus, mandragora. You can imagine remedies like lac leoninum. You can imagine remedies like mercury, platina. You can imagine remedies like lachesis and the snake remedies. They all have the same dynamic. Many of them also get dictatorial, like mercury, platina, lachesis, aurum, lac leoninum. There's also this element of I am the boss, the dictator. So these are the 6 superclasses. Just to summarize, you can see here, first is withdrawal and clinging, second open and shut, third limit and expand, fourth stability and security, fifth restless and must get out, sixth violent and destruction. And what are the remedies in each of them? You can see in the animal kingdom, the first superclass is the bivalve. In the mineral kingdom, it is the second row, the left side means lithium, beryllium, and boron. In the plant, the first subclass, the magnolids, magnolidae. In the second superclass, you have the fishes and the gastropods. Gastropods are the snails. And then you have carbon. Carbon doesn't know whether to stay in or get out. That is the main dilemma for carbon. Am I still part of the mother or should I get out of here? This is open and shut. And the second subclass, which is the hemamelidae, remedies such as cannabis. The third superclass, limit and expand, the birds come here. The third row of the periodic table, remedies such as natrum, magnesium, silica, alumina, because their theme is, should we remain limited or should we take a risk and find our own individuality? Should we be restricted by what our parents have decided for us? Or should we step out in the world and find ourselves? The third subclass, Caryophyllae, with remedies such as cactus. The fourth one, stability and security. You have remedies such as lac caninum and lac defloratum in the animals. The fourth row of the periodic table, such as calcium, kalium, arsenicum, etc. The fourth subclass, which is the dilenids, which include remedies such as the violets, the bryonia, the chocolate, etc. And the gymnosperms. The fifth superclass includes, in the animal kingdom, the group of spiders and insects, cephalopods such as sepia and lac equinum. The second row, the right side, which includes remedies like nitrogen and oxygen. The fifth subclass, which includes remedies such as the Anacardiaceae, the Euphorbiaceae, etc. And then in the sixth superclass, you have the reptiles, the heavy metals such as mercury, aurum, platinum, and plumbum. The sixth subclass, which include the Asteridae, remedies of the compositae, the Solanaceae, the Loginaceae, and the Rubiaceae, etc., and the fungi and the lily. So this is the broad classification of the superclasses, and I find this extremely useful in practice, because it helps you to orient yourself and to know that you are in the right place. You see, your symptoms may match, but if the superclass doesn't match, then you are not in the wrong you are in the wrong continent completely. You are looking at the wrong thing.